Hey, hello, what's up everyone? In this video I'm going to teach you Saturn in the third house of D9 Navamsa chart. So before beginning, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon and click the like button, and if you have any doubt after watching this video, please do mention that in my below comment section, okay? So let's begin. So mainly what do you mean by the Navamsa chart or the D9 chart? See, Navamsa chart or the D9 chart is the second most important chart after your birth chart. It mainly gets activated after your second half of your life, like after 33 years or 36 years of age. It is mainly seen for your strengths of your planets. It is mainly seen for your married life, how it will be, whether it will be good or bad. It is mainly seen for your relationship between you and your spouse. It is also seen for your marital life. So these are things the mainly the Navamsa chart or the D9 chart is mainly seen for. Now, coming to the strengths of your planet. Let's say for example, if any planet is deviated in your birth chart. Let's say for example, if Sun is deviated in your birth chart and that planet Sun is been exalted in your Navamsa chart or D9 chart, that means that that planet Sun has gained extra strength or extra power. Now coming to the married life or any relationship between you and your spouse. See, every individual divisional charts including the main birth chart has its own Karaka planet or the significant planet, right? So let's say for example in the birth chart, Sun is the Karaka planet or the significant planet. Likewise in the Navamsa chart or D9 chart, Venus is the Karaka planet, so or the significant planet. So if Venus is very well placed, that is if Venus is in the exalted sign, Venus in the Mool Trikon sign, own sign or in the friendly sign, that means that you are going to have a very good married life, or after your married life your life will be very good. Now coming to the third house of D9 Navamsa chart. So third house of D9 Navamsa chart represent after your married life, how will be your father-in relationship between you and your father-in-law. So if you go towards your father-in-law house, how will be the environment of your father-in-law house. So these are things are represented by third house of D9 Navamsa chart. It also represents your communication with your father-in-law, communication with your younger siblings also. So overall communication in the marriage. So these are things are seen through third house of D9 Navamsa chart. It also shows your short journeys after your married life. How will you travel short journeys like from office to home. So these are things are represented by third house of D9 Navamsa chart. Now coming to planet Saturn. Saturn represents planet which is very hardworking planet, lazy planet, which gives you more and more struggle in your life, problems in your life, and it also makes person lazy, as I told you. So these are the things are represented by planet Saturn. Saturn also represent disciplinary rules and regulation to follow under certain circumstances. So when Saturn is placed in the third house of D9 Navamsa chart, it shows that the person after married life will have a very bad communication with the father-in-law. So that's the one, unless and until if it is placed in the very good zodiac sign, like say for example in the Aquarius, Libra or in the Capricorn, or even in any friendly signs. But other than irrespective of the zodiac sign, Saturn in the third house mainly gives you bad relationship with your father-in-law, bad communication with your father-in-law. And in your father-in-law house, if you go there, there will be no respect for you. Even if they respect, then there will be some kind of problem and struggle you have to face. And when coming to after your married life, you will have some mature communication with your spouse. So it also shows that you will be a very bad parent in terms of raising your children. So when it comes to matter of raising your children, you will be very bad parent. So looking after them, taking care of your children will be very bad for you. So you will not take a good care of them. So this is what, because Saturn aspect is third aspect to the fifth house. So that's what it means. Third house represents your struggle, hard work. Third aspect means struggle and hard work to that particular area of point where Saturn is aspecting. So it aspects fifth house. So fifth house your children, raising up your children after your married life. So these are things where you are bad at mainly, and you are bad at romance also after your married life. So these are things it mainly represent. It also represent mainly the marriage will be some like putting hard work in your marriage, putting efforts in your marriage to get good base to build your very good married life. So these are things mainly Saturn in the third house in the D9 Navamsa chart represents. Now coming to the conjunction of planets. Now what happens when, see, it also represents arguments with your spouse, arguments with your father-in-law or your younger siblings also. Saturn is the third house. Now coming to what happens when Saturn is conjuncted with benefic planets or malefic planets. See, when Saturn planet conjuncted benefic planets like Moon, Mercury, Venus and Jupiter, it gives very good result, but at some particular point of time it will give bad results also. Why I will tell. See, when Saturn is conjuncted planet Moon, that represents, it gives happiness when you fight with your father-in-law, when you get fight into your younger siblings, because Moon is your happiness, Saturn is your this one which gives you problem in communication, because third house is your communication. So when you have very bad communication with your father-in-law, bad communication with your younger siblings, you get very good happiness, and then through that you will get very good wealth, because 3, 6, 10, 11 are upachayasas, it goes with time. After your married life you will get very good wealth. So malefics in the 3, 6, 10, 11 gives you very good lot of amount of wealth also. Now coming to when Saturn is conjuncted planet Mercury, that represents person may be a very good business minded person. Person is very good at communication. Person knows how to deal with practicality, reality with person also know how to deal with father-in-law also. So these are things mainly the Saturn and Mercury are conjuncted in third house of D and Navamsa represent. Now coming to Saturn and Venus, it represents that it will just make the person very difficult when it comes to matter of spouse, when it comes to matter of marriage. It may see Venus is afflicted here, because Venus with malefic planet gets afflicted with any malefic planet, maybe Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Sun or anything, Ketu. So marriage can be very troublesome here. So these are things it may be noted. Person may be a very materialistic person also. Person may be very practical and realistic about the money. Now when Saturn is conjuncted planet Jupiter, that represents that person may be very good, matured, knowledgeable person, and person may be having very philosophical mind of thinking. Now what happens when Saturn is conjuncted planet malefic planets like Sun, Mars, Rahu, Ketu? It gives you very good results in terms of money, but in terms of relationship it gives you bad results, unless and until if it is placed in a very good zodiac sign. Now coming to malefic planets like Sun, let's say Sun and Saturn, after your married life there will be some difference between you and your father-in-law. Of course there will be, but there will be more difference when Saturn and Sun are conjuncted, and after your married life you and your father will fight for some reasons. So these are things mainly you need to see. Now coming to the communication, you want to command your people in your family, so then only like dominating your family. So this happens when Sun and Saturn are conjuncted in the third house of D9 Navamsa. Now what happens when Sun is conjuncted planet Mars? That represents person may be a very bad parent, person may be very bad in communication. So person may be very aggressive type of personality. Person may be thinking only about the bad things, only attracted to bad things. So these are things when Saturn and Mars are conjuncted each other in the third house of D9 Navamsa represents. Now what happens when Saturn is conjuncted with planet Rahu? That represents person might open his or her business in a large scale. So he or she will get a huge profit in the large scale business. So that too in the third house means person may be very good salesperson after married life. Person may be a very good business person after married life. So these are things you need to know when Saturn and Rahu are conjuncted. Now what happens when Saturn is conjuncted Ketu? That represents that person mind will be like thinking in a haphazard way, and it also he or she also thinks like going to spirituality, taking sannyasi after married life. So these are things mainly it happens when Saturn and Ketu are conjuncted in the third house of D9 Navamsa. So these are the things that are mainly analyzed. What happens when Saturn is sitting in the third house of D9 Navamsa, especially with the different planets also. So that is the conjunction with different planets. So this is it for today guys. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe below, or else I will see you in the next video, that is the Raj Yogas in the Gemini Astrology, that is part 3, Gemini Astrology part 3. I am going to do that separate video for you. So until and unless if you want any consultancy, please to contact to my given WhatsApp number below in the description box, or you can even mail me also. So until and unless, thank you, bye bye, love you, take care.